بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We continue our discussion about gratitude, shukr, based on Al-Mahajjat al-Bayda, volume 7. We have Kitab al-Sabr wa Shukr. The second part is about shukr. And what we discussed was about the need for using Allah's blessings in order to get closer to Him. If you remember, we gave this example. We said if the king gives someone a horse and he is traveling, he should use the horse to travel with the king and be near the king. But if he takes the horse and goes away from the king, or doesn't use the horse at all, this is not right. This is not gratitude. So if you use it properly, it's gratitude. If you don't use it or use it against His will, this is kufr. Kufran al-ni'am, if you are not grateful. Now we want to start a new chapter in this book. بيان تمييز ما يحبه الله تعالى عما يكرهه. Page 160 according to local time. 160. Okay. بيان تمييز ما يحبه الله تعالى عما يكرهه. Explaining the distinction between what Allah likes and what He doesn't like. We want to see how we can make a distinction and distinguish between these two. اعلم أن فعل الشكر وترك الكفر لا يتم, or ترك الكفران, كفر here means كفران, لا يتم إلا بمعرفة ما يحبه الله. You cannot be grateful. You cannot stop كفران النعمة, which is opposite to shukr, except by knowing what Allah likes. Yeah, because we said you have to use it in the way that He likes. So this means that shukr depends on knowing what He likes. إذ معنى الشكر استعمال نعمه في محابه. Mahab means those things which are mahbub for Him. If you use His blessings in what He likes, this is shukr. ومعنى الكفر, kufran is also naqid ذلك, means what is naqid, what is opposite to using His blessings in what He likes? It's a very good test for your logic. What is opposite to using His blessings in what He likes? Pardon? No, this is part of it. Opposite to using it for what He likes is not to use it for what He likes, which includes using it for what he doesn't like or not using at all. Yeah? Because نَقِيضُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ رَفْعُهُ. Opposite to everything is just removing that. So, we say he didn't use it in the way Allah wanted. Means either he didn't use it at all, or he used it, but not in the way he wanted. Okay? وَمَعْنَى الْكُفْرِ نَقِيضُ ذَلِكَ. إما بترك الاستعمال. Allah has given you some blessing, you don't use it at all. Allah has given you, for example, good memory. You have to use it. Allah has given you skills, talents. You should use them. If you don't use at all, أو باستعماله في مكارهه, or you use it in what is makruh. Makareh is plural for makruh, like mahab, which is plural for mahbub. You use it in what he doesn't like. So, if you want to be shakir and not do kufran al-ni'mah, you need to know what he likes and what he doesn't like. Okay? وَلِتَمْيِيزِ مَا يُحِبُّهُ اللَّهُ عَمَّا يَكْرَهُهُ مَدْرَكَانِ. There are two sources, two ways to understand what he likes and what he doesn't like. If someone asks you, how do you understand the will of God? What's the way? There are two ways. One is as-sam', ad-dalil as-sam', in usul, in kalam, we used to say, by hearing, which means by listening to the Quran and Hadith. You remember, we said dalil as-sam'i, dalil aqli. Sam', we also say naql, yeah, ad-dalil as-sam'i or dalil al-naqli. And in the Quran, we have ayah which refers to both. What is the ayah? Which refers to sam' and naql. لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير. Surah Qaf. Yeah? لو كنا نسمع means if we have followed revelation and prophets and messengers, sama. أو نعقل, if we have used our aql. Surah Mulk. So, the way to understand what Allah likes and what Allah doesn't like is to refer to sam' or aql, which here he calls al-basiratul aqliya, to have intellectual insight. أحدهما السمع ومستنده الآيات والأخبار. Sam' depends on verses of the Quran or narrations, hadith. والثاني, the second madrak, the second source is basiratul qalb. Basiratul qalb means to have insight, consciousness, or moral conscience that you understand. Of course, technically, we prefer to use aql. But because he's Ash'ari, Ghazali, so we have some differences in the way we articulate these things. Because we believe, although qalb is very important, but qalb is not Ḥujjah. Aql is Ḥujjah. Do you know why?
Qalb could be emotionally affected.
Because condition of qalb is not fixed. If qalb is the condition that Allah created, then it is okay. Fitra. But qalb can sometimes be affected by bad actions, bad thoughts. Yeah? So you may reach the point that your heart has no sensitivity towards good or bad, or even can become opposite. When you offer something good, the heart feels bad. For example, there are people that when they give money for charity, they feel bad. When they steal money, they feel good. Yeah? They really feel good in their heart. If they annoy people, they feel very good. Why? Because heart is changeable. We call it qalb. Qalb comes from change. And inqilab means, like revolution, change. So this is why qalb is not ḥujjah. Another reason is because qalb also is not able to understand details. Even when you are in the condition of fitrah, you understand major issues. But if you go to details, you may get stuck. For example, you know that you should not tell lies, for example. You should not break your promise. But when these things conflict, then sometimes good people may have different feelings because it's too detailed for heart. Aql is ḥujjah. Even aql of bad people is ḥujjah. Even aql of people who go to hell was ḥujjah. لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا. What does it mean? لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل. What does it mean? It means if we had listened, or if you had listened. If you had listened, I was not in hell. Or if I had listened. If I had listened. And naqil means if I had used my aql. Not that if I used your aql. Or it doesn't make sense. So even those people who go to hell, if they had listened or used their own aql, they were saved. Aql, as I have said many times, aql is a ḥujjah of Allah. Inna lillahi ta'ala ala nas ḥujjatain ḥujjatan ظاهرة وهي الأنبياء والرسل والأئمة وحجة باطنة وهي العقل. Imam Qasim alayhi salam. So can ḥujjah of Allah make mistake? Can ḥujjah of Allah betray? No. So aql is ḥujjah. He says basiratul qalb, but it means the same thing. We have to interpret it in the same way. Yes.
So we have it that if the heart qalb gets to a state, excuse me, that if in constant sin, it gets to a point that it gets sealed by Allah. We have it in the Quran and Hadith. Yeah. But if that circumstances happen to, let's say, a non-believer or somebody of not a pure heart, would their aql still be in place, or yes, given that their heart is sealed,
aql will be imprisoned?
It will be imprisoned. How so? I want to see the relationship between the two at that stage.
إلهي قلبي محجوب ونفسي معيوب وعقلي مغلوب وهوائي غالب. So the just and legitimate king is put in prison, and unjust king is ruling. If your aql is ruling your heart, that's good. If temptations and appetites rule, that's the problem.
But that, I don't know.
So the good thing is aql never betrays. Even if it is put in prison, it still is, the same thing. Still, offers the same guidance. You don't listen to it, but aql is the same.
The input source for aql, for qalb, is also the same for aql, in a sense. At times, for example, we have it that their eyes are sealed, their ears are sealed, so they cannot hear or see.
But very good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
In the Quran, we say, for example, they have ears by which they don't listen. They have eyes by which they don't see. But we don't say they have aql by which they don't understand. We say they don't use aql. La yaqilun. We don't say, lahum uqulun, but it doesn't work.
Wouldn't you say that the heart or the qalb is the filter in between, let's say, the ears and the eyes, what it comes through, the information that comes through? The qalb is the filter, and then you come to the aql. So if the ears and the eyes are blocked, and if the qalb is in prison,
Qalb is not in prison. Qalb is the whole country. Qalb is the whole country. Aql can be in prison.
So aql can be is rather inside the qalb.
Yes. Prison is inside the country. So you have to put aql in the palace, not in prison. But both of them in the heart.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nasma أو نعقل.
Is it one of them? Because
Yes.
we use it as a one of them.
Yes.
So,
This is called mani'atul khulub. It's not mani'atul jam'. Mani'atul khulub means at least one of them. You can use both, but at least one of them. Yeah? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I was going to ask, what would you say to the people, the philosophers who say, no, we use our aql to take us away from Allah? We have certainty in the disbelief of Allah because by rationality we can prove it.
They have not understood decisive judgment of aql. They may have misunderstood things, but because they don't see flaw and problem in their line of argument, they think this is what aql is saying. If aql is used properly, aql is like a vehicle. It's not just enough to have the vehicle. You have to know how to drive it. This is why we study logic in Ḥujjah. And also when we study philosophy, we study word by word. We take our time. We spend good many years. Why? Because it's not just enough to say, I want to do philosophy. You have to be prepared for it. So there are people who are, for example, believing in different types of ideas, and all of them say, this is philosophy. There are tens of different schools in philosophy. It's not possible that all of them are right. Yeah? What is important is we have to check one by one, all the arguments they have made to see which one is correct, which one is mistaken. But we are sure any two human beings, no matter how their upbringing was, no matter how old they are, their aql works in the same way. And this is why we can discuss and argue and hope to come to a mutual understanding. If my aql and your aql were working differently, then we were not able to come to an understanding. We should have not had any discussion. Why we discuss things? Not because we disagree. Because we disagree and have hope to agree. People who disagree, if they don't have hope to agree, then they don't discuss. Yeah? We always have hope that no matter how much we differ, we can talk and maybe come to conclusion. Atheist or a believer in God, they can discuss, maybe they come to agreement. There is hope. And this is why, humanity for thousands of years have been involved in philosophical discussions. They never stopped. Or they never said, because I am Eastern, you are Western, we don't need to talk to each other. Our mind works differently. Yes, maybe the way we use concepts, maybe the way we look at things, our attitude, our approach may be different between man and woman, between young and old, between Eastern and Western. But these are not stopping us from using aql in the same way. It's very important. You have a question?
Yes, based on the narration I saw in also the Kafi on Baba Aql, I remember discussing the fact that Aql is what is used to be distinguishing between right and wrong. So it's not just pure logic. This is the misconception I think some people think when they hear Aql, because of the translation from Farsi or Arabic. They might think that it's just the brain or just the mantiq.
No, intellect. Aql is intellect.
It's intellect, isn't it? So
but intellect which is functioning properly.
So it can distinguish between what is right and wrong.
If I want to give you an example, please remember this an example as a gift from me. Okay?
Please, thank you.
Aql, as I said, a vehicle. It's like a car. But what type of car? In philosophy, we say aql is like car. Please remember, this is a result of my many years of thinking. In philosophy, aql is like car. In our hadith, aql is a car which is running on the right track. It means you have turned it on, you know how to drive it, and you are actually driving it. If you have car which is parked, this is not aql. You can say I have car, yeah, but aql which is not used is not aql in our literature, not philosophy. In our literature, aql is the car which is turned on. You know how to drive it, and you are actually using it, driving it to go where? To right places. If you don't use aql, or don't take it to the right destination, this is not called aql. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To confirm your point,
Yes.
we have narrations where Imam Ali was asked about the aql, and he says, Al-aql man adkhalahu aqluhu ila al-jannah. The aql is the one who his aql takes him to heaven. And then
Yeah.
they asked him, what about Muawiyah? Because he's also very clever, and he's that is a heart.
Yeah.
That is
تلك النكراء والشيطنة والله ما معاوية بأدهى مني. Yeah, he is not more clever than me, but he has satanic cleverness. Satanic cleverness means like the way thieves use car. They drive, very fast, and they have techniques, but for wrong purpose. Okay? When people look and say, okay, both of them are drivers, both of them are intelligent, both of them are clever, their IQ is the same. But we say, no, it's not a matter of how much is the IQ. We have to see what they have used this IQ for. If they have used this IQ for helping people, for achieving virtues, this is what we call aql. Ilm is the same. Sometimes ilm means just to know. But in our literature, many times ilm means to know and to use, to implement. Yeah? Otherwise, رُبَّ عَالِمٍ قَتَلَهُ جَهْلُهُ. It's like, because ilm is light. If you don't use this light and walk by it, it's like having no light. Yeah? Sometimes people carry light and based on what they can see with light decide where to go. Sometimes people already decided to go to wrong places. Already they have decided. Now said to like, tell me how to go there without falling down. Okay, still this light can help them. So sometimes people use ilm for mischief. Still they can benefit from ilm. But this is like you already have decided compared to someone who uses light to make the proper decision. The big difference. Okay. So there are two madrak, two sources that you can use. أحدهما السمع. One is to hear, to listen to, means al-ayat wal-akhbar, to refer to Quran and Hadith. والثاني بصيرة القلب, the insight of heart. وهو النظر بعين الاعتبار, to look at things carefully with the eye of i'tibar. I'tibar means to take ibra. You know ibra? When you take lessons. Ya fa'tabiru ya ulil absar. A wise person, a rational person, a mu'min is the one who takes ibra, means takes lessons for himself from everything. If you see someone is successful, learn from this. If you see someone who is not successful, learn from it. Yes? This is very important. وَهَذَا الْأَخِيرُ عَسِيرٌ. Asir with ain. What does it mean? Usra. Us means difficulty. Asir means difficult. This is different from asir. Asir means juice. This is asir. In the past, to make juice was difficult. Making asir was asir. Now it's easy. هذا الأخير عسير. Asir, not asir with hamza, not asir with sad. Asirun means sad. It's difficult to understand things by referring to our heart. وهو لأجل ذلك عزيز. Aziz, does it mean Aziz? Aziz doesn't mean dear. Aziz means rare. Azizul wujud means something which is rare. Rare, yeah. It's different from, because Aziz sometimes means dear. But Aziz here means something which is very rare, hard to find. Because it is difficult, it is rare. And this is why Allah sends prophets. Because not everyone was able to understand, or even if they were able, it was difficult for them. So Allah sends the prophet so that there is no chance for people to say, if you had sent prophets, we were guided. لَأَلَّا يَكُونَ لِلَّهِ لِلنَّاسَ عَلَى اللَّهِ حُجَّةٌ بَعْدَ الرُّسُلِ. So, هو لأجل ذلك عزيز. And you know there is a relation also between the two meanings. To be rare and to be dear has a relation. Because when something is too much available, it's less liked. Yeah? No, for example, why gold is so valuable and sand is not that valuable? Because sand is too much. Gold is very rare to find. Yeah? So, unfortunately or fortunately, sometimes it's unfortunate, sometimes it's fortunate. Things which are available, we don't appreciate. Yeah? For example, if we had in our town only one copy of the Quran, people would fight, on having 1 hour Quran with them. Yeah? But now because we have, many copies of the Quran, unfortunately, we don't take it that much seriously. Yeah? When things become available, we don't appreciate. If we had no majlis for Imam Hussein in the town, we were, crying, why we don't have majlis? We go, another town. Now that we have too many majlis, we don't know where to go, so we decide not to go anywhere. Let's sit home and just... This is sad. Okay, so because it is rare, فَلِذَلِكَ أَرْسَلَ اللَّهُ الرُّسُلَ وَسَهَّلَ بِهِمُ الطَّرِيقَ عَلَى الْخَلْقِ. Allah knew that it's difficult to rationalize everything. He sent the prophets and messengers, وَسَهَّلَ بِهِمْ, made it easy. With sending prophets, He made it easy for people to find the path. He made the path easy for them. وَمَعْرِفَةُ ذَلِكَ. And if you want to understand what Allah likes through these sources, تبتني على معرفة جميع أحكام الشرع في أفعال العباد. If you want to know what Allah likes or not, part of it is about actions. Part of it is about qualities. So you must know Islamic Fiqh, because it is in Fiqh that you know what actions are wajib or mustahab, and what actions are haram or makruh, or just mubah. So if you want to know what is liked by Allah, you need to know all ahkam. فَمَنْ لَا يَطَّلِعُ عَلَى حُكْمِ الشَّرْعِ فِي جَمِيعِ أَفْعَالِهِ, the one who doesn't know the ruling of Shar' about actions, لَمْ يُمْكِنْهُ الْقِيَامُ بِحَقِّ الشُّكْرِ أَصْلًا, he cannot fulfill the requirements of shukr. Why we learn fiqh? Why we learn ahkam? Because we want to make sure that our actions meet Allah's will, expectations. Yeah? Amma thani. This was about understanding through Quran and Hadith. You have to know all the ahkam. You don't need to be mujtahid, but you need to know ahkam, either through ijtihad or taqleed. Yeah? At least taqleed, so that you can know all the ahkam. أما الثاني وهو النظر بعين الاعتبار فهو إدراك حكمة الله تعالى في كل موجود خلقه. The second is to use your insight, your aql, to understand what was the wisdom behind creating this. Because Allah does not create anything without wisdom. Yes? Everything has one or more reasons, because even it's not maybe one, it can be many reasons behind its creation. Maybe me and you don't know. I told you this story, I think. I heard from one of ulama, but so far I haven't been able to locate it in our books. If you find it, let me know. But one of ulama said that once Musa alayhi salam saw a cockroach and ask Allah, what's the wisdom behind creating this? What's the purpose? And Allah said, it's very interesting because just now this cockroach was asking me, what's the wisdom behind creating Musa? So, maybe we don't understand, but certainly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has reason and wisdom for creating everything. So, you have to be that much intelligent and understanding that by using your aql and insight, you understand why Allah created this so that you know how to use it, which meets His expectations. So either refer to the Quran and Hadith, or you have to use your aql and understand the wisdom behind. For example, certain things, inshallah, we'll talk. We understand why Allah created sun. Why Allah created for me eyes, hand, leg. You have to be able to understand why and then use it accordingly. We will talk about it. إذ ما خلق شيئا في العالم إلا وفيه حكمة. Allah has not created anything unless there is wisdom behind it. Yes? He is Hakim. Hakim doesn't do anything without good reason, without purpose. Of course, in Bab Hadi Ash, we said the purpose does not go back to him. The purpose is to benefit others. You remember we had a discussion. Some people said Allah's actions have no purpose. But we said they have purpose. Al-af'al mu'allalatun bil-aghrad. In Bab Hadi Ash, we discussed this. So, for everything he has a reason. وَتَحْدَ الْحِكْمَةِ مَقْصُودٌ. Under that wisdom is what he wants. وَذَلِكَ الْمَقْصُودُ هُوَ الْمَحْبُوبُ. What he wants is what he likes. وَتِلْكَ الْحِكَمُ. Those wise reasons are جَلِيَّة or خَفِيَّة. Some of them are clear, we understand. Some of them are very subtle and hidden. Khafi means hidden. Yeah, it's not easy to understand. أما الجلية فكالعلم بأن من الحكم في خلق الشمس. For example, some of the things that everyone understands is that the wisdom behind creating Shams, sun, is what? أن يحصل بها الفرق بين الليل والنهار. Because Allah wanted to make day and night. One is for ma'ash, one is for rest. So He created sun so that we can use the light of sun and have day. أن يحصل بها الفرق بين الليل والنهار فيكون النهار معاشا والليل لباسا. Day is for ma'ash, for making your living. Night is for rest. It covers, it's bringing peace, rest. You go home and relax with family, do ibadah, do mutala'ah. This is nahar. Okay. This is why we say it's better you at least spend part of the night for rest. If you sleep even equal hours during the day, it would not have the same impact as sleeping in night. Yeah? To sleep in night is very important. It's not a matter of just being dark. You can switch off the light, put curtains, but it's not the same experience as night. Okay? So, there is a hikmah, at least this much we understand. فَتَتَيَسَّرُ الْحَرَكَةِ عِنْدَ الْإِبْصَارِ. when there is sun shining, there is light, it's easy to move around. Yeah? For most of the cases, it's better we work during the day. Yes, there are some people who have to be in hospitals, some policemen, There are people, they may need to work in the night. But this shouldn't be the common way of working. The common way of working should be, as much as possible, we do things during the day. So, with the sun, which giving us light, movement becomes easier. Then in the night, sukoon and rest becomes easier. Okay, this is part of the hikmah for creation of sun, not kull. It's not all of it. And there are many other things. Or, for example, we know part of the wisdom behind creating clouds and rain. We know part of it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also refers in the Quran to some of these things. For example, أَنَّا صَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ الصَّبَّا. We poured water down. ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا. Then we made like holes in the earth, or separated the earth. Means water comes and the soil becomes soft. Water can go down, seeds can go down and grow. فَأَنْبَتْنَا فِيهَا حَبًّا وَعِنَبًا. Then grapes and crops can grow. Or, for example, stars, other planets, we know to some extent. Then it comes to our body. He says there are organs in our body, especially internal organs. We may not know everything about them, but we know some of the reason why they are created. Okay. If we use them in the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, this is shukr. But if we use sun, night, rain, organs in the way that He doesn't like, this is not kufr. This is not shukr. This is kufranun ni'mah. Then he says, I go to the last part of the page 161. He says, لأن المراد من خلق الأرض والسماء وخلق الخلق وخلق الدنيا وأسبابها. The purpose in creating earth, sky, people, the world, their causes. Why Allah created all of this? Quran says, خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا أن يستعين الخلق بها على الوصول إلى الله. Allah created this so that we can benefit from this to reach Him. Yes? He created and He made it manageable for us so that we can move towards Him. وَلَا وُصُولَ إِلَيْهِ. And there is no way to reach Him إِلَّا بِمَحَبَّتِهِ وَالْأُنْسِ بِهِ, except by loving Him and being acquainted with Him. And this cannot happen unless we use these things in the way that He likes, so that we can take them with us in our journey and move towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La wusula ilayhi. There is no way to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala illa bimahabbatihi, except with loving Him. Wal uns bihi fi dunya. You have to be very friendly, very intimate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dunya. وَالتَّجَافِي عَنْ غُرُورِ الدُّنْيَا. Get rid of deception of dunya. وَلَا أُنْسَ. there is no way to get acquainted with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala إلا بدوام الذكر, unless you constantly remember Him. If you don't constantly remember Him, then all of a sudden you realize you have fallen in love with dunya. Yeah? You have to be very careful. ولا محبة إلا بالمعرفة الحاصلة بدوام الفكر. Also, love for Allah needs ma'rifah, and ma'rifah needs to always be thinking. So, دوام الذكر ودوام الفكر. ولا يمكن الدوام على الذكر والفكر إلا ببقاء البدن. In order to be always remembering Him and always thinking, we need to have a healthy body. وَلَا يَبْقَى الْبَدَنُ إِلَّا بِالْغِذَاءِ. And you cannot maintain your body without food. So why we eat? Because we want to be able to think and to have zikr. Yeah? We eat to get healthy body and energy so that we can study, we can think, we can do zikr. Unfortunately, sometimes people eat just for the sake of eating. Or they do fiqh and zikr so that they make money to eat. It's opposite. Yes. You know what we do in dunya makes us laugh and in akhirah makes us cry. ولا محبة إلا بالمعرفة الحاصلة بدوام الفكر ولا يمكن الدوام على الذكر والفكر إلا ببقاء البدن. You cannot constantly think and remember Him except with your body, and body needs food, and food needs earth, water, air, and all these things. So Allah created all this. Why? So that we can use them and take advantage from them for our journey towards Him. فَكُلُّ ذَلِكَ لِأَجْلِ الْبَدَنِ. All of them are for our body. وَالْبَدَنُ مَتِيَّةُ النَّفْسِ. Then our body is to serve our soul. And what returns to Allah is what? النَّفْسُ الْمُطْمَئِنَّةِ. So everything physical is for badan, badan is for nafs, and nafs should be mutma'inna so that can return to Him. Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutma'inna. Ar-raji'u ila Allah hiya nafsul mutma'inna. The tranquil soul returns to Allah. How it becomes mutma'inna? Betul al-ibadati wal-ma'rifah. Because Allah bi dhikrillah tatma'innu al-qulub. And dhikr needs ma'rifah and ibadah. فَكُلُّ مَنْ اسْتَعْمَلَ شَيْئًا فِي غَيْرِ طَاعَةِ اللَّهِ فَقَدْ كَفَرَ نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ. Everyone who uses any ni'mah different from what we have said in a way which is not helping him in his journey towards Allah has been ungrateful. فقد كفر نعمة الله في جميع الأسباب التي لا بد منها لإقدامه على تلك المعصية. Because he have committed sin, is not grateful person. Then he has a discussion about money. Everything so far was physical creation, natural phenomenon. Yeah? Sun, rain, cloud, earth, and all these things. Then he talks about dirham and dinar. Why Allah created gold and silver. Here we have a discussion, but unfortunately time is limited. But briefly, maybe we can read it next week. But briefly, the idea is, next session, that we needed to be able to have something as a kind of medium for exchange. You know, it's not easy that you produce everything, especially now. If in the past, maybe for primitive, human beings was easy to produce everything they wanted. Yeah? But when life becomes more complicated, you cannot produce everything that you want. So you have something extra to give, and someone has something that you like, and you can exchange. But even exchange became difficult. So first, everyone was able to meet his own or her own needs. Second, with a little exchange, for example, I have bread, you have egg, we change. But later it became more complicated. I have bread, you have, for example, egg. I don't want egg. So you have to sell egg to someone who has oil, and that person who has oil needs bread. I give bread to him, and he takes egg. But after some time, even this became difficult. So this is the wisdom why Allah created gold and silver. Something which is not that much wanted as such. Yeah, apart from using as jewelry, we don't use that much gold or silver. Even we use that jewelry because they are valuable. Yeah, and they are rare. If gold and silver were everywhere, we couldn't use them as the kind of currency. Yeah. So initially, they started using gold and silver. Then they made coins. Okay? Coins from gold and silver. Then they kept the gold and silver and used it as a reserve for notes. Then they print notes without even reserve. And now they don't even print. Then we have Bitcoin. So we go through different stages. But the purpose behind creation of gold and silver was to facilitate for us our life, so that we can more easily meet our needs, so that we can focus on our thinking and zikr. But unfortunately, sometimes we are too much obsessed with gold and silver that they, instead of helping us, they possess us. Sometimes we ask people how much money you have, but it's better to say how much money does have you. Are you ruled by 10,000 pounds, or are you owned by 100,000 pounds? Because that's the money that owns us. It's not that how much we... Okay. Inshallah, we continue this discussion, inshallah, in the next session. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.